with Dot Scrapbooking, and these are 3 cards that I'm going to make and show you how to make. So there are 2 happy birthday cards and a thanks card, but they could actually be anything. They could just be a hello card. So here we go. Okay, this is the kind of the mechanism of the card. So it's kind of like a, I don't know, it's sort of like wings. It's kind of like an M. Anyway, it stands up nicely for sure, and it fits in an A2 envelope, a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch envelope. So it may not look it, but there it is. It totally fits there. So I'm going to show you how we do this. And we're going to take 2 pieces of 4 1/4 by 8 1/4 pieces of cardstock, and then we're going to score them. But first we're going to cut them so it's 4 1/4 by 8 1/4, and we're doing 2 pieces. So I'm putting in my scoring blade, and we are going to score at 2 1/4, then move it over 4 inches, and then move it over again at 6 1/4. So we're going to do both pieces just like that. So it's 2 1/4, and then 4 inches, and then 6 1/4 inches. So we have our 2 pieces. So we're going to fold. First one is going to be a fold up. Some call that a mountain fold. So the last piece is the larger fold. So it's like 2 1/4. And I'm going to use my bone folder because we're actually making a lot of folds here. And then that one gets folded in. And then we're going to do the same thing over here. And then press it down real good with your bone folder or whatever you have. So we're doing a mountain, valley, and valley. It's how some people refer to those folds. So one's up and then down, down. So now we're going to take the last fold is going to be folded inwards. And then we're going to fill it up either with glue or Tombow, whichever your favorite adhesive is. Glue might be a little bit stronger. And then we're going to take a piece of, in this case, well, I'm going to outline mine. So the first square is going to be a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And that would normally just go on the adhesive that we put down. But I wanted a very slight outline around this piece of black and white paper. So then I made a 4 by 4, no, actually 4 1/8 by 4 1/8 inch piece of black, and then the printed piece is 4 by 4. So I'm going to put that center piece on first, and then if you flip it over, then you can match up that fold to the other fold and then press it down really, really good. And then I cut 2 pieces, so you cut 4 pieces all together, but the 2 pieces on the end are 2 by 4. And I wanted to use the little vines to go with the flowers. And then that inside piece is 1 1/2 by 4. So those are 4 pieces you're cutting. 2 that are 2 by 4, and then 2 that are 1 1/2 by 4. Now, if the black cardstock was white, there wouldn't be a problem, but I could add 2 more pieces that are 1.5 by 4 to write a little note on the inside, and that would go on the very inside of the fold. And so I cut in raspberry, I cut these hellos and thanks. I think I cut them in, the thanks is in raspberry and the hello is in flamingo. And I am just going to take my tri-blend marker and I'm outlining with the darkest color. So that looks like it's the magenta blend. So I'm outlining with the darkest color. And I'm not doing all the flowers. I'm just doing one flower to make it stand out. So this could really be, I'm making this a thanks card, but it really could be a hello card too. Just, somebody that you're thinking of, they've had things going on in their life and you just want to wish them a happy hello, that you're thinking of them. So, and then I'm coloring with the lightest of the magenta blend. So the first one I do is outline in the darkest and then maybe add another layer in the medium color, and then the inside layer gets done in the light. So it's just nice to have the shading, because the shading is, to me, it's what adds depth. So you can add whatever embellishments you want to this. But I took because the thin cuts that I have that say hello and thanks, it's very thin lettering. And so if you cut a piece, I'm using the middle now to blend the lighter and the darker edges. So I actually cut 4 pieces. I cut 3 whites, glued them together, and then I put the raspberry on top. I mean, you can make them all raspberries if you want. It's whatever. But this adds a nice level of stiffness to your sentiment without, because otherwise it might get floppy and not hold its shape. And so I'm just adding a little bit of extremely strong adhesive. This is called liquid glass. It's great for making dewdrops because it holds its shape and dries as a dewdrop. So I'm adding the thanks to the bottom there. And that's how it stands up real nicely. And so that inside part, or even the back side, if you add white to it, then you can jot a little note to the person you're thinking of. Okay, so this one I used the paper from the spring collection. And I also, another thin cut I've got is Happy Birthday, because, you're going to use Happy Birthday. So I did it in the flamingo and raspberry, and I decided that stood out nicely against that backdrop of spring flowers. And so the green and the wood paper, those are papers that come with the package of spring. I don't know that the spring paper is still available. They've really gone through those papers because they were absolutely beautiful. All of the different seasons were beautiful. And so they got purchased up in a hurry. But you can use any papers that you have that are leftovers, because these are, the biggest pieces, 4 by 4 of a printed paper. So this is great for your scraps. And I kept that on there and I pulled a little piece of the cardstock off. But you know what? The magenta blended perfectly with that raspberry cardstock, so yay. So there I've got a happy birthday card that stands up so nicely. And I mean, these are really, don't think that these are complicated. They're not at all. So, I hope that you try it. I'll put some instructions up on the screen so you can see instead of just having to wait for me to name the sizes. But now I'm going to go ahead and do it. So I'm going to make another card And there's this fun polka dot and this yellow. So I'm going to cut off, going to make it 4 1/4. And that's not big enough, so I need another piece. 4 1/4. And then I'm going to flip it around and cut it at 8 1/4. So now I have to make the folds, the score lines. So once again, we're going to do a score at, I can't find my instructions, 2 1/4 and 4 6 1/4. So 2 1/4, 4 6 1/4. So that last piece is about 2 inches because the long piece is 8 1/4. So we're going to fold out and then in. And you want to make sure your papers are lined up so you're not doing a slanted score. Squish it down really good. I like using the bone folder, but you can use whatever you use to make a good score. So once again, on that inside edge, I'm going to fold it and make sure that there's plenty of tombow on it. So I'm going to cut a piece of white daisy at 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to put that right along that edge with the fold down. And so then I'm going to match up the fold, flip it over and match up the fold and squish that down real good. So that's going to, and then we've got a piece of 4 by 4 of this little fun kind of, and the edge, since it's a white background, it doesn't really stick out against the white. So I'm taking the dark magenta and I'm edging the paper. And just so that's the flip side of this is also the spring paper with the flip side. And I love these little fun polka dots. So I'm just putting that in the middle. And the little magenta line just makes the paper stand out just a little bit. So I'm just kind of figuring out what to put here. And I'm putting the green. Nope, don't want that. Well, that wouldn't be bad to have the flowers on the inside. Could totally do that. Yeah. Think. Decisions. This is my worst thing to do, is making decisions. I hate it. Okay, so I'm going to cut a piece that's looks like 2 inches by 4 inches. Really? That's what I'm going to do? I'm going to put polka dots on the outside. So this one's going to be festive. Dots everywhere. Dots. So those are the 2 by 4 pieces, and those are going on the outside. So, I mean, dots with kind of confetti dots, it definitely makes it look festive. So it's got to be a happy birthday, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put my liquid glass and just dot it on there. I put a little bit too much on the last time. Just tiny dots is all you need, because it's such, I mean, the paper will rip before it gives up. So I'm going to put my happy birthday on there. And use my tweezers. And, the letters are just kind of, not perfectly lined up. So it doesn't matter, if it's not perfectly level. Okay, so I let that dry and came back and decided to use some of the green. And I have this adorable, this is called Flying By. It's a stamp and thin cut and stencil. And just the most adorable little critters are on this stamp set. So it's perfect for, wishing you a happy day or a birthday wish. And then you've got all the thin cuts to cut out all the little things. And we've got balloons because we've got confetti going, so you kind of need a balloon for a happy birthday. And so I cut out a die cut couple of balloons and also a little hedgehog and a little fox. So, and then all the little sentiments are so small that you can actually put those on the inside of the balloon. So it's just perfect. It just makes a really sweet little, kind of a whimsical kind of card. And here's my little, I always want to say porcupine, little hedgehog, who is so cute. And all of the little critters have little strings that they're holding on to, that's getting stamped, so that you can make the balloon kind of continuous with it. Look at that. I mean, are they like so cute? I mean, you have to smile when you look at these little guys. They're just absolutely adorable. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just seeing which, see, they're all real tiny. And all of them, they fit inside of there. So it's perfect, right? Floating by to say hi, so you kind of got to do that. And wishing you a happy day. I think you can actually put that on a hello card with one of these little critters and just saying, wishing you a happy day. So my coloring, I colored and didn't run the camera was not recording. And I did it twice and the camera wasn't recording. So I went and popped out a whole bunch more die cuts with my set. I thought, oh man, it's what happens when you don't get enough sleep. You don't think straight. Okay, so I've had more sleep last night. So here I am. I can't tell you how many days this has taken me to make these cards. So I love all of these, and we're gonna, here are the little, excuse me, all the little critters. I already stamped 2 of the balloons. And I am going to use my very favorite intense black to stamp all of the critters. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp them all. And then I'll color them. And I'm going to use my tri-blend markers. Now you could also use watercolor pencils to color these. Actually, the first 2 go-arounds, I used watercolor pencils. And they come out really nice. You've got a lot of control with the pencils. You can make it darker, you can make it lighter. And then you can use a little brush, a watercolor brush, or in my case, I used a little shimmer brush to blend the colors. So, but I did end up using the tri-blend markers. Made the colors a little bit more intense. They blend nicely, absolutely blend nicely. So it's whatever you like to use for coloring. There's other things you can use a brush and our ink pads and pull up some of the ink from the different ink pads to make everything match perfectly. but this wasn't my set of things to be perfect with. So I'm going to do this cute little mouse. He's so cute. So I like the little bird. I like all of them. I guess my favorites are probably the little fox and the little hedgehog. But the bird is very cute, and so is the little mouse. And so then we've got a bunny also. So I hadn't seasoned that one yet, so I had to stamp it. I didn't season the little mouse either. So here's a cute little bunny. Aren't they sweet? I mean, I look at them and I think, oh my God, they're just adorable. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp flying by to say hi and wishing you a happy day. Wishing you a happy day for sure. Did I use flying by to say hi? Thought I did. Yeah, floating by to say hi. It's not flying, it's floating. So I'm getting ink all over my hands. But you know, you don't, when you stamp, you don't stay neat. So that's okay. So I grabbed a bunch of my tri-blend markers and I'll list all of them that I've used. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of color. I'm going to trim them out in dark and then add medium and then add light. And I'll go over, I'll do the, actually I color all of the little critters. So just while you watch me color, I could speed this up. Maybe I should do that. But just so you know, this probably, I speeded it up at 225%. So all of this work was over an hour, but I got 3 cards. And I screwed up a number of times. So it would not be take me near as long as if I didn't have to do it over and over again. Just saying. So you can see, so I edge it in the dark and then come in and do the medium. And this is what I usually do, not normally, but usually. And then fill in the inside with the light. And that way you get, some level of contouring to just kind of add some, gives kind of a roundness and a fullness to it when you've got some contouring. And then if there's some blanks that need to be blended in, then I can fill it in with the lighter color. And you can layer these colors, even if you layered the light, each time you add a little bit more, it'll be a little bit darker, a little bit more depth. So we're having the little brownish red fox and a little gray bunny. And he's going to have a little pink belly too, because bunnies have got to have some pink. And I thought this was a nice gray. Although I had to say I had a bunny. My son had a bunny that was all white. It was a tiny bunny and had 2 black eyes. It was so cute. And then we had another little black and brown bunny that was named Bun Bun. I think bunnies, I forget the name of them, but they're like the miniature Dutch bunny or something like that. Anyway, so sweet, such sweet little guys. The little Bun Bun would sit on my shoulder and give me little bunny kisses. It was just too sweet for words. He was a very good bunny. So I'm giving a little pink belly and filling in with the lighter gray. Hi, sorry. Ginger was howling. I had to go take care of her. Okay, I am going to speed up my coloring a little bit and just kind of get these little critters to go a little bit faster. I'm making a little gray mouse, and he's got a little pocket, and he's got a cute little hat on. Just going to use the light side on the inside of his face. Get his little feet dark. And he's going to have a little pink pocket and a little pink hat. Just 'cause it's too cute. And a little yellow pom-pom on the top of his little hat. Excuse me. So the hedgehog is going to be, I actually don't know what color hedgehogs are. I've just seen them on TV, I think. Anyway, I'm going to do a mixture of gray and brown and try to blend the edges where the outside is going to be brown and his little body is going to be gray. But my only understanding with hedgehogs is they're really cute, but you have to handle them very carefully, like with gloves on, because those little things that stick out are prickly. I don't know if they're as bad as like a porcupine, but they're not soft and cuddly. They are cute. So I'm just adding a little darker detail to make the little prickly hairs, whatever they are, stick out. And then I forgot to do his arm. And I'm just kind of doing an edge around the outline to just around the body to give a little contouring and kind of blend the little brown and gray together. And I'm giving, of course, a little pink flower so it sticks out a whole lot. And I'm going to use, because I didn't bring a green marker with me from my office next door, I'm just going to use a little shimmer brush to add some green to the leaves. And then this cute little bird is going to be kind of a dark honey yellow, and he's going to be all over that color. So I guess I could have made him like a bluebird of happiness. Could have made the little bird any color. I mean, birds come in all sorts of turquoise and blues. He could have been any kind of color, but he's a really cute little chubby bird. So once again, highlighting the outline of the feathers and contouring around his little body. And he has a teensy little hat on, little striped hat, very cute. So I'm going to color the balloons. I don't want a white balloon. So I'm going to use my shimmer brushes to do that. And I'm trying to find the lightest colors I've got. So this is kind of a pink, could be like sugar plum pink, super pale. And I wish I had a pale blue, but this was the lightest greenish blue that I had, and it actually isn't light at all when I start coloring with it. But it's pretty, it's festive. And it will stick out. It doesn't necessarily go with any of the greens or blues that I have on my papers, but the important thing is for it to stand out. And you can't really see that it's a shimmer, but it is a shimmer. The shimmer brushes really have a lot of glitter in them. And I'm just trying to smooth out the green with my clear shimmer brush. So now it's like, okay, what am I going to use for this card? So I'm going to put a little bunny, I think. Trying to figure out which fold I want to put him in. You actually have two. So the inside of this fold, the very inside, is white. So you could make a little note or, add some more birthday greetings to the inside of the very inside of the card. So the little critters are going to go flat and the balloons are going to be popped up a little bit, just to try to add a little bit of dimension to it. So look how cute he looks with that little pink balloon. And then, of course, the little hedgehog, because they're all so darn cute. So he's going on the little wood plank. And see, that's his little balloon is going to be going. So look at how cute that is. I mean, they're really, really cute. And here's all the colors I used. So there's grays and pale pink blends and pale pink shades and a gold blend and a tan blend and a magenta blend. So those are all different. And here's the other one that I did in the watercolor pencils. So they really stand up. Look how nicely they stand up for a folded card. And here's my thanks. And I just really like that. So this really is easy. Don't let it fool you. It really is easy when you do it. And I hope you want to try it out because they're really fun to do. I love doing the fun fold cards. So thank you so much for watching, and try it out. Really, it's good. Bye now.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.